Greetings, friends, on the Psychology channel. Today we have a very important and, unfortunately, very common topic that concerns many of us. Well, let's not pull the cat by the tail. The topic we have today is that old song, that sore wound, jealousy. This is a feeling that can destroy even the strongest relationships. This contagion can poison even the sweetest honey. Jealousy can infiltrate the happiest moments and turn them into a nightmare. You know, I judge from myself. Jealousy is like quicksand. The more you twitch, the deeper it gets. This feeling can take over you completely if you don't learn how to deal with it. And don't think it's only young girls who have wind in their heads. Jealousy knows no age or gender. Oh no. Jealousy, my dears, is a one-size-fits-all problem. It can affect anyone, regardless of life experience or social status, and businessmen who make their wives jealous of fitness trainers, and those who think their partner spends too much time at work, and pop stars who suspect each other of all sins. Even celebrities are not immune to this feeling. But you should not give up. There are ways to cope with jealousy and return harmony to the relationship. My name is Ruslan, and today I am your personal guide to the world of healthy and happy relationships. Together we will figure out how to overcome jealousy and make your relationship stronger. In this video, we'll look at 15 ways that will help you not only overcome jealousy, but also make your relationship stronger. Yes, you heard me. These methods are proven by time and experience of many people. We will not hide from this problem, we will solve it. Together, we will find ways to harmony and mutual understanding. So make yourself comfortable, make some tea, and get ready for a fascinating journey into the world of relationship psychology. I promise it won't be boring. We'll start with the basics and gradually move on to the more complex aspects. Are you ready? Then let's go. So, my friends, the first and perhaps the most important prescription for jealousy is, oddly enough, conversation. Yeah, that's right. Many people think it is better to keep silent, swallow, just so as not to scare the beloved. But let's be honest, silence has never done anyone any good. It's like a time bomb that will explode sooner or later. Talk to your other halves, just without the scandals and the breaking of dishes. Remember, your goal is not to blame, but to understand each other. You're a real team, and a team, as we know, must work together. Tell me how you feel, what's eating you. Believe me, a sincere conversation is the best cure for mistrust. Moving on. The second, equally important item on our list of jealousy fighters is trust. Yes, it sounds corny, but it's pure truth. Trust is the foundation on which strong and long-lasting relationships are built, as they say, for centuries. When you trust your partner, jealousy doesn't even come close. But how do you build that very trust? After all, it's not a brick you can take and put in a wall. The answer is simple. Trust must be earned. It is a long and painstaking labor that requires time, patience, and of course, reciprocity. Don't expect your partner to trust you if you're not ready to return the favor. Remember, trust is a two-way road. My friends, have you ever wondered why we are so tormented by this damn jealousy? Where does it come from? Out of nowhere. You know, psychologists say it's all complexes. They've been lingering since childhood. Maybe your mother didn't praise you enough. Maybe you were teased in the sandbox. I'm kidding, of course. Or are you? In fact, jealousy often hides in our self-esteem. When we don't have confidence in ourselves, we don't value ourselves, we start to see the competition in every skirt. We think any passerby is far more interesting, intelligent, and beautiful than we are. Well, my darlings, get it through your heads. You are unique. Yes, you heard me. You are a diamond that just needs to be cut correctly. And instead of torturing yourself with jealousy, take care of yourself. Sign up for dancing, go to a beautician, buy yourself a new dress. Believe me, when you begin to shine from within, your man himself will shake with jealousy, afraid of losing such a beauty. In the meantime, for now, I suggest we move on to the next, equally important item, setting personal boundaries. After all, you must agree, even the most expensive diamond should be able to present. In relationships, as in geopolitics, borders are very important. And no, I'm not talking about Kaliningrad. I'm talking about personal space, what you are willing to tolerate, and what is unacceptable to you under any circumstances. Imagine that your relationship is your own home. You are the mistress and your partner is the master. Everyone has their own room where they can be alone with themselves, read a book, lie in a bubble bath, or just relax. But there are also common rooms where you spend time together, have dinner, watch TV, discuss plans for the future. And here's where it's important to realize that barging into a room without knocking is not nice. No one likes having their belongings rummaged through, their private messages read, or their every move monitored. Respect for personal space is the key to a healthy relationship. When lovers trust each other, they don't need to be constantly watching and jealous. So, we've already established that personal boundaries are sacred. Respecting each other's personal space is the foundation of a healthy relationship. But what's next? But what about time together? How to find a balance between personal space and time spent together? After all, relationships aren't just about "don't touch me, I'm resting." It's also about shared moments that strengthen your bond. It is important to spend time together, share your thoughts, go on dates, lie on the couch, discuss future plans, and just enjoy each other's company. Watching soap operas and doing all the stupid things that lovers do is what makes a relationship alive and real. After all, what can be more beautiful than a romantic candlelight dinner, a trip to the movies, or an evening in a cozy restaurant? These moments create memories that will stay with you for a lifetime. Watching soap operas and doing all the stupid things that lovers do is what makes a relationship alive and real. Or traveling to the other side of the world? Exploring new places and cultures together strengthens your bond and opens new horizons. Shared adventures make your relationship brighter, more interesting, and fulfilling. They add joy and excitement to your life that you can't get otherwise. But my friends, don't forget about yourself. Personal time is just as important. It is a time for recuperation, for reflection, and for just being yourself. Being together 24/7 all the time is a sure way to get bored of each other. It is important to find a balance between time together and time alone. Remember that each of you should have your own personal space, hobbies, and interests. Meet with friends, go dancing, read books, take up pottery, do whatever brings you joy and satisfaction. After all, when you are happy with yourself and your life, you become much more interesting to your partner. Your hobbies and interests make you unique and attractive. And jealousy? Jealousy simply disappears because you don't have time for it. You are busy doing things that bring you joy and satisfaction. And that makes your relationship even stronger and happier. You know, sometimes our jealousy is like a ghost from the past that can't be put to rest. It seems like a new relationship, a new man. But in my head, I'm still thinking, what if he leaves me like that asshole? And here you begin to see cheating where it is not, delayed at work, definitely to another, smiled at the waitress. Flirts, he's covering his tracks. Of course, past experiences can leave deep wounds, but letting it poison a real relationship is like carrying around a heavy suitcase. And it's hard to leave, and it's hard to carry. So what to do? How to stop transferring the mistakes of the past to your current partner? Let's talk about it. Instagram, Facebook, vKontakte. These social networks have become real breeding grounds for complexes and jealousy. You scroll through the feed and see that everyone has everything perfect. Perfect relationships, perfect figures, perfect trips. And you're sitting there, staring at your phone thinking, why can't I do that? Why does his ex-girlfriend have long legs and I don't fit in? And now, instead of a romantic dinner, you have a showdown with your lover, accusing him of all the deadly sins, including the fact that he has in the past dated a girl of model looks. Sound familiar? Then listen up. We're about to get out of this web of comparisons. Sometimes we are afraid to admit to ourselves how we feel. Afraid of appearing weak, vulnerable, afraid of being rejected. And instead of sorting ourselves out, we hide our true emotions under a mask of indifference, or, on the contrary, aggression. We are jealous in silence, burning with suspicion from within, and then explode over nothing, accusing the partner of all mortal sins. Sound familiar? Then let's learn to talk to ourselves and our partner honestly and openly. The first step to conquering jealousy is to acknowledge your feelings. Yes, you're hurt, scared, resentful. Yes, you're jealous, and that's normal. Jealousy is a natural feeling that every human being experiences. The second step is to share your experiences with your partner. Tell me what worries you, what situations make you jealous, what you are afraid of. The third step is to listen and hear each other. Dialogue is not a monologue. Here it is important not only to speak out, but also to hear the partner's position. Remember, honesty and openness are the foundation of a healthy and strong relationship. You know, sometimes jealousy turns us into real detectives. We start sniffing, tracking, checking out our partner's every move. The phone becomes the main enemy, and likes in social networks, a reason for scandal. But let's be honest, who needs that kind of love under a microscope? Constant suspicion and scrutiny doesn't strengthen a relationship. It destroys it like termites to an old house. Instead of playing detective, better focus your energy on building trust. After all, a relationship without trust, it's like a car without gasoline, will not go far. Remember, trust is a fragile thing. It can easily be broken by a careless word or action. So get a grip, my dear jealousies. A lot of people think that relationships are like a fairy tale, happily ever after, and died on the same day. But in reality, relationships are not just about romance and passion, but it's also a daily labor. If you want to build a strong and harmonious relationship, forget about being passive. Don't wait for your partner to guess your desires or he'll solve all the problems himself. Relationships are like a beautiful garden. To make it pleasing to the eye, you need to constantly take care of it, water the flowers to pull weeds. So get your rakes and shovels in hand, my dears, and start working on your happiness. Often we are afraid to admit, even to ourselves, that we are jealous. We consider it a manifestation of weakness, insecurity, afraid of seeming ridiculous, intrusive, unworthy of love. But let's be honest, jealousy is a natural feeling that every human being experiences. It's like pain, a signal that something is wrong. Therefore, there is no need to be embarrassed about your jealousy. Hide it from yourself and your partner. It's more important to understand where it comes from and find constructive ways to deal with it. Talk about your feelings. If jealousy is poisoning your life, don't be silent. Talk to your partner about your feelings, fears, concerns. But remember, the conversation should be calm, constructive, without accusations and ultimatums. Your goal is not to create a scandal, but to find mutual understanding and solve the problem together. After all, only together, shoulder to shoulder, you will be able to overcome any difficulties and keep your relationship. You know, my friends, sometimes jealousy is like that mosquito that buzzes in your ear and keeps you awake. It can appear at the most inopportune moment and disturb your peace. It seems like you've tried everything. You've sprayed it with dichlorvos and taken out the fly swatter, but it still comes back. You feel helpless when all your efforts fail. That's how it is with jealousy. Sometimes you can't handle that pesky feeling on your own. It can take you by surprise and make you feel vulnerable and insecure. And you know what? There's no shame in that. Recognizing that you need help is the first step to solving the problem. Seeking help from a specialist is not a weakness, but a strength and a desire to understand yourself. It shows your willingness to work on yourself and improve your life. After all, a psychologist is like that experienced exterminator who knows exactly how to get rid of mosquitoes once and for all. He has the knowledge and tools to help you deal with your inner mosquitoes. Just imagine, you come to the appointment, relax in a cozy chair, and begin to tell everything that has accumulated in your soul. This is a place where you can be yourself without fear of judgment. The specialist will listen carefully without judging or giving unnecessary advice, and then help to understand the causes of your jealousy and find ways to overcome it. This is a process that takes time and patience, but you will be pleased with the results. So my friends, don't be afraid to ask for help. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. After all, your mental health is the most valuable thing you have. Taking care of it should be a priority, and sometimes it takes an outside perspective to get rid of jealousy and mend a relationship. This view can give you new perspectives and help you see the situation in a new light. Ultimately, seeking help can lead to a happier and more harmonious life. Don't be afraid to take this step for yourself and your loved ones. You know, my dears, sometimes jealousy is like an untuned antenna that only picks up bad signals, without everyone else noticing. We begin to see the threat in every look, in every word, in our partner's every move. But what if you try tuning this antenna differently? Instead of looking for validation for your fears, try to understand the reasons for your partner's behavior. Imagine yourself in his shoes. How does he feel? What's he thinking? Why do things this way and not the other way around? Believe me, it's not just a play of imagination. Trying to understand your partner, you start to feel him better, see the world through his eyes. And that, in turn, helps build confidence and get rid of your unfounded jealousy. So, my good ones, before jumping to conclusions and picking fights, try to put yourself in your partner's shoes and look at the situation from his side. Perhaps then you will realize that your fears were in vain. My friends, tell me, when is the most often in your head all sorts of nonsense about cheating and rivals? That's right, when you're bored. You're sitting at home, staring at your phone, and your loved one is missing somewhere. That's where the fantasy plays out. Instead of making up non-existent dramas for yourself, take better care of yourself. Think back to what you were passionate about before the relationship started, what dreams you abandoned. Maybe you've dreamed of learning to dance the tango or paint a painting. Now is a great time to shake the dust off your brushes and canvas, or sign up for a dance class. First, new hobbies will fill your life with bright colors. And secondly, you simply won't have time for idle suspicion. And who knows, maybe your man, seeing you transformed and enthusiastic, and will be jealous himself. After all, nothing is as attractive as a confident and self-sufficient woman. Let's not kid ourselves, my good ones. Perfect people don't exist. We all have our own cockroaches in our heads, our own flaws, and our own skeletons in our closets, and your partner is no exception. Perhaps he doesn't always do the dishes, scatters his socks, or forgets your dating anniversary. But is that cause for jealousy? Instead of dwelling on his flaws, try focusing on his strengths. After all, you probably fell in love with him not for his perfectly ironed shirts, but for his sense of humor, intelligence, kindness, charisma. Remember that a relationship is not about searching for the ideal, but about accepting each other with all the advantages and disadvantages. That's what true love is all about. So, you and I have sorted out a few ways to deal with jealousy and strengthen relationships. I hope each of you found something useful and important to you. But remember, my dears, jealousy is not just an unpleasant feeling, it's an alarm bell. It suggests that something is going wrong in your relationship. Perhaps you lack attention, care, trust, or you yourself are insecure and afraid of losing your partner. So before you blame everything on your man, look inside yourself. Sort out your feelings, understand what it is that makes you jealous. After all, as they say, a stranger's soul is a dark place, but we must understand our own soul. Remember that jealousy is not a judgment, but a challenge that can be dealt with. Do not be afraid to put these tips into practice. The main thing is to work on yourself and your relationship, and then jealousy will no longer destroy your peace. If you found something useful for you, subscribe to the Psychology channel, give us likes, and share your stories in the comments. Your stories can help others, and we look forward to your likes and discussions. And remember, jealousy can destroy relationships, but subscribing to our channel will definitely strengthen them.